refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Just incidentally, how did it happen? You've been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt, boxed all around the world, won everything, including a world championship. But to do it in an atmosphere like that, with the pressure that was on you, even if you say there was no pressure on me, but to do it in that sort of atmosphere, I wonder where that ranks.
Yeah, like I said after, look, I'm not going to kid you, it went right up there. Just everything into consideration. The night itself was, you were there yourself, and it was a special atmosphere for myself. To beat Chris the way I beat him, to do what I was told I couldn't do, and to justify everything I said in the build-up was a special night, and it went right up there.
What are your feelings towards Chris now?
The same as it was before the fight last time. He's an opponent now, and I'm 100% confident about beating the game.
Chris, welcome. Fairly straightforward question. How do you process defeat?
Process defeat. I'm a good sport. I've lost before, and it's part of the game. Unless you're Floyd Mayweather, everyone has to go through it. I told Ryan Garcia after his fight a few days ago, it's not about how great you look when you're winning. It's about how you hold yourself when you lose. And it's about how strong you can come back. A lot of guys can't come back after a loss, after a big loss. It breaks them. It breaks their spirit. It breaks their confidence. It breaks their rhythm. For me, it just makes me more determined to improve, to figure out why things went wrong and to fix those mistakes. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
Forgive me for dwelling on it though, but you are coming back from something that's never happened to you before. There's nothing to compare it to my knowledge. I think you've never been dropped. I think you said never even inspiring. Have you been hurt to that extent?
Oh, I've been hurt. Of course I've been hurt. I've been buzzed. I've never been dropped, never been on the canvas. So yeah, it was a new experience. I enjoyed it. It was something new. Imagine, you've been in a sport your entire career and something new happens to you. It's exciting. The thing I regret is not being able to, or not being given the chance to kind of get through it. As you guys saw, I wanted to continue. I wanted to see if I could overcome that adversity. And I feel like I was robbed of that challenge. This is what we sign up for. We sign up to get hurt. We sign up for that, for the possibility of receiving punishment. So yeah, it didn't really sit well with me that I wasn't given every opportunity to recover. If a beating was what I was going to take, if the fight had been let to go longer, then great. That's what I deserve. I would have accepted that. I would have enjoyed that. But I think every fighter, especially if they're demanding to continue, should be given the opportunity. I'm a grizzled veteran in the sport. I know how much I can take. I know when I can't go on. I was buzzed, but I knew what was going on. Obviously, when the referee stopped the fight, I knew the decision had been made. I knew I wasn't going to be able to overturn it. But in my mind, I was like, okay, the fight's done. But I still need to make sure that Liam knows that I'm still ready to go. You know, I can't have him walking away from this fight thinking that, you know, he made me quit. So I walked over and I stood in front of him. And I wasn't going to throw any punches, obviously, but you know, his team ran over and the referees were trying to push me back. You know, I understood the fight was over, but I just wanted to look at him and let him know, hey, listen, I'm still here. I'm still ready to go. In my opinion, he didn't stop me. The referee stopped me. You know, and in a sense, we both got robbed there. He got robbed of, you know, the opportunity to finish me conclusively, and that could have happened, you know. And I got robbed of the opportunity to overcome that bad, you know, instance and to maybe come back and win the fight. You know, and that's what the fans really want to see. You know, they want the Castillo-Corrales type fights. They want the Garden War. They want that, you know, that fantasy of, you know, a fighter goes down, he gets hurt, but then he comes back and you know, there's a back and forth, and then the other guy gets hurt, and then he comes back to win. You know, that's what that fight could have been. Could have been that. Or it could have been me just getting my ass kicked for the next few rounds. But we'll never know. But you know, the fans should have been given the opportunity to see that. How's he going to react? How's he going to deal with taking more punishment? Or how's he going to deal with, you know, recovering and maybe getting the fight back? We'll never know. But you know, as a prize fighter, as somebody who's getting paid millions to fight, each and every time I step into the ring, you know, I have a responsibility and an obligation to give it everything I've got. You know, I'm not looking for a way out. You know, I'm not like the other fighters like Billy Joe Saunders. You know, when the going gets tough, they're looking for a way out. I'm looking for a way in. I'm looking for a way to overcome. And I think that was taken away from me.
You took it away from me, Chris?
The referee.
So the referee let you go on, Bruce, on the apron without you didn't know that, didn't you?
I didn't. I can't control what I was doing.
That's money or you see before you got up here. Bruce was on the apron as well without. So the referee let you go on, we stopped it too.
Roy didn't throw the towel in. Whether he was about to do it or not is a different matter. I still haven't actually had a conversation with Roy about that. I didn't see what happened. But I will be telling Roy from now on, don't ever bring a towel to any of my fights ever. don't even worry about wiping my brow with this sweat. Because, like I said, you know, as a man who's getting paid millions to fight each and every time he steps into the ring, I have a responsibility to take my beating if that's what is going to happen. You know, this referee, he actually refereed the same fight where I fought Nick Blackwell. And he let Nick take a hellacious beating over 10 or 11 rounds to where he ended up in a coma. And, you know.
Maybe, man, that's because you were about to do the same.
Well, maybe I was. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I wasn't.
Let's maybe save you from that.
But the fact that, you know, a referee can let a man take the amount of punishment that Nick Blackwell took, and then on the flip side, you know, wave the fight off after a flash knockdown, it doesn't make sense to me. It's not fair, in my opinion. You know, and it wasn't just me that was robbed; it was the fans too. You know, a lot of people paid to see me get my ass kicked, and they were robbed of that. You know, they wanted to see me take more shots, and they didn't get to see that.
You got given a chance to the first knockdown, Chris. You walked 5 steps, you fell 5 steps forward, and he gave you the chance. It couldn't be stopped as the first knockdown. You got given the chance you're asking for, you got given the respect because of your chin. Anybody else who stumbles 5 steps has to be a knockdown and gets stopped on the spot. You ask anybody in this room, anybody else gets stopped on the spot. You got given the respect because you're a tough man previously and you've got a good chin. You got given that respect, which is why the fight went on after the first knockdown. Okay. You know yourself, anybody else who does that dance you do gets stopped on that spot.
It wasn't a dance. I got up too quick because something that's never happened to me before. And obviously it takes time for your body to resync. I was resyncing. You know, then we threw a few more shots, glancing blows, we both fell over. I get back up immediately. And I'm pushing forward and the fight is stopped. You know, when a fighter is really hurt and can't continue, he doesn't pop back up and demand that the fight continues. Like I said, I'm a grizzled veteran. I know what I can take and what I can't take. And I could have taken more punishment if that's what was going to happen. And I could have taken, all I needed was a few more stanzas to get my rhythm back. And I think I would have been back in the fight. Again, we'll never know. But the exciting thing now is that we get a chance to run it back and to see if it wasn't just a lucky shot, a lucky combination, a lucky elbow, whatever you want to call it. If you do it again, then my hat comes up to you. You are the better man, and there's no argument. But as of right now, I still believe I'm the better fighter, and I think that is. I don't think that's an unfair thing to say when you dominate the first 3 rounds, which I believe I did. So I think I'm going to go in there and I'm going to right that wrong. Obviously, you're going to do what you need to do to stop that, and that's what's going to make this fight so exciting.
Liam, I'll give you a chance to come back on a couple of those points there. You were closer than anybody else following the referee. You saw, with your own eyes, into Chris's eyes. So I'll ask you the question: was it stopped too early? And on the second question, Chris just said there that he felt that he had dominated the first 3 rounds. Your opinion on that as well?
Yeah, look, obviously I like Chris I was saying, you don't need to be a genius to see, he's falling over everywhere. He got his chance after the first knockdown. He goes down again, gets up and falls straight into the referee. The referee stopped the count as soon as he falls the second time round. You've got fighters commenting saying, could have easily been stopped that first time. Everybody in this room being around boxed for a long time and no boxing. You got given his credit for his history, so to speak. You got given the chance to carry on after that first knockdown. Any other fighter gets stopped after that first knockdown. You can't fall 4 or 5 steps and let the referee, you got too quick. That's your mistake. You should have been stopped. He gave you the chance. You went down again. You fell over again.
We fell over.
I fell over. My bottom's in just no floor.
I'm saying that the second time we both fell over. That's what
you fell. I didn't fall. I didn't hit the floor. I didn't fall.
Oh, well, maybe I
You were falling. You tried to bring me with you. Look, the roads caught me. You fell and got up and I fell into the rock and he got stopped. Now, I understand you've got to come with some sort of roundabout way to make excuses because the fight's back on.
It's not an excuse, it's what happened. I got up and I wanted to keep going, and he denied me that.
You couldn't want to keep going because you're a fighter, but you couldn't keep going. Everyone in this room will tell you you couldn't keep going.
I mean, everyone in this room doesn't know what I go through on a daily basis for the
You said before the last fight you've never been buzzed. You just admitted you've been buzzed there, Chris. So
of course I've been buzzed. You can't swim in the sea.
You've never so much as been buzzed.
You can't swim in the sea and not get wet. For me to say I've never been buzzed in my boxing career in
you said it
or in the ring,
you said this. So
I've never been down. I've never been touched the canvas.
You have an outline for you. You have an outline for you.
And I give you that. But to say that I wasn't able to continue after jumping back up and wanting to and telling the referee to let me keep going, it's not an excuse. Listen, you won the fight. Now it's up to me to prove what I'm saying is correct, that I am the better fighter, and that it was a once in a lifetime thing, which it was, because that's never happened in my lifetime. I've never touched the canvas before. You did it. I give you the credit for that. And
because what fight did you dominate yourself 30 seconds in the third round?
Well, I jabbed your head off for 2 rounds, and then I hit you with about 6 or 7 uppercuts in the 3rd round. I was warming up, and then
what did I do this?
Huh?
And what did I do?
And then you want me to say it, but you know what you did. you know exactly what you did. You know exactly what you did. And listen, I'm not mad at it. It's a fight. It was my fault. I should have, protect yourselves at all times. I didn't do that. I let you get in and do what you did. And fair play to you. I can't not do that. It's a fight. You know, our health is on the line. We're trying to feed our families here. Now you get another huge payday. You wouldn't have got that if I just gone in and blown you out. So absolutely, you know, I get it. I get it. You know, I'm happy for you. But make no mistake, you know, this next fight here, it's I'm gonna be a different animal. We're not giving you any chances.
What can you do different, Chris?
What's that?
What can you do different?
Oh, well, you guys are gonna find out. I'm not gonna give away my game plan. I'm gonna keep you guys.
Your game plan wrong last time you said.
Listen, my game plan was going swimmingly. You didn't land a shot. You know, you had Matthew Macklin on the commentary box talking about, oh, what a great overhand right. You know, those are some great shots. And you look at the replay and you hit my glove. You didn't touch me until that fourth round. I was having fun. I was enjoying myself.
You're satisfied, Chris. Can I ask you a question, a genuine question? Did you get knocked out in the build-up? What do you think?
Did I get knocked out in the build-up? What does that mean?
Did you get knocked out from sparring in the build-up?
No, I didn't.
Okay, this is the question.
What a strange inquiry that was.
Because of how petrified you was of getting hit. That's not, you're looking, you like that, when you're looking away, you're blinking, you're closing your eyes every time I got near you were terrified.
I mean, that's an absurd overstatement to say that I was petrified.
Not really, because the first shot I balled you, you were looking at the floor, so I think...
I mean, did I not want to get hit? Absolutely. I'm a good-looking fellow. I want to hit you. So, you know, yeah, I was trying to avoid your punches as much as I could.
Got a few laughs today, for a few tears, you know, today.
And the issue with you is, I know, you know, when push comes to shove, and I said it before, you like to play dirty. And I knew that coming into the fight, so I thought, you know what, let me try and stay away from the possibility of possibly getting cut or some stupid injury happening, because I want to be active. I want to fight again in 3 or 4 months.
I don't even need to be there to make it because you're fucking easy. I don't even need to be there to make it easy. Yeah, 4 hours is easy.
I mean, listen, when you get hit with 6 or 7 uppercuts in a row, it doesn't look too easy to me, but
It's easy for me. I have a mark on me. I never, no, you get cut. It's easy.
I had a mark.
I was football the next day.
I had a big welt in my eye here.
What shot was that?
What shot was it? You tell me.
What shot?
I mean, I've never had a welt like that in my eye before. I don't know if it was a shot. It was something. It was something. I don't know what it was. But let me tell you. One thing I will say is that any big punch I've ever received, any big punch I've ever received in a fight or in sparring that lands clean, you know, I get this flash of white, and then I'm right back. You know, I have that ability. Some guys, they take those shots and, you know, they're down, or you know, they wobble or whatever. I usually have that one flash and then I'm back. With what you did, it went dark for a split second. I've never had that before. It wasn't a white flash, it was a dark flash.
So that's getting used to it because it's going around against it.
You're saying it without saying it, if you don't mind me interjecting. You're saying it without saying it. Are you alleging that Liam did? There's plenty of talk about it online. Do you feel that he did land in Hong Kong? Is that
There's no alleging. All you have to do is watch the video. It was a beautiful shot. I gotta give it to him. It was great. The way he just, you know, snuck it in the middle of his combination, it was beautiful. And it's, again, it's my fault. It's not he shouldn't have done it, but it's my fault. Protect yourselves at all times, and I didn't do that, and I paid the price. But it's okay. I'm not going to pay it again.
Let's bring in these two gentlemen here. We're watching brief at the moment. Try following some of that. Boxer CEO, you can go first. Obviously, there was a rematch clause. We spent a hell of a lot of time talking about it in the build-up, and yet here we are. Did you think this fight was going to happen? How happy are you to be putting it on again? Will it be repeat or will it be revenge?
I mean, when the rematch clause was activated, I was certain it would happen, and it's taken a long time. We've been waiting. We've had other fights that we could have taken, and we've sat and we've committed to this. I think it was probably the biggest night in the UK in boxing this year. It was an incredible night, and the rivalry was incredible. The way these two went at it was incredible, and it was everything that we expected. I think it's a bigger fight this time. I think the first fight for some reason felt like almost the Eubank show, and the way people overlooked Liam Smith's chances was incredible. I think this time people understand how good Liam Smith is. It's Smith Eubank, Liam Smith's the A side, Eubank's the star, and it's a must win for Chris. For Liam Smith, he wants to become a two-time world champion. For Chris Eubank Jr., I truly believe his career is on the line, and that's what makes this so big. We went on the sign-ups only half an hour ago, and it's trending as big as Khan Brook did. That's how much interest there's in this fight. That's credit to both guys. I think it's a rematch fans do want to see. I think it's something that we've never seen happen to Chris Eubank Jr. before. And yeah, it's amazing that it's finally here. But yeah, as I say, it has taken a while, but delighted to now be here.
Head of global boxing at Wasserman Boxing, Callum Sauerland. You've sat and listened to all of that. You also heard Liam say that Chris perhaps didn't want the rematch to start with, and he's been forced into this position. And I'll give you a chance to come back on that.
Absolute rubbish. How's it taken a long time? We've got the rematch, takes place within 5 months of the first fight. So how's that taken a long time? Junior got back to the dressing room, was very clear in the head, and the first thing he said to me, we were putting that clause. I said, look, go away, spend some family time, get some family downtime. I was in a plane and managed to have Wi-Fi Valentine's Day, won't say where I was going, but I'm looking on Instagram and suddenly I see I've activated the rematch clause. He's his own man. Yes, he has a team, he has a big team, but he's a fighter, and he's a hurt fighter right now, and he's a dangerous fighter right now. So, full respect what Liam's saying, full respect what Chris is saying, but I've worked with him for many years. I've never seen him in a space like this. Very clear, not a sense of desperation. He knows exactly what he needs to do. Kitchen sink, the bathtub, metaphorically, you name it, it's coming into that ring on June 17th in the Manchester Arena. It's not going to be like the first fight, which I think was tactical. You know, if you look at that third round, I think Junior showed what he'd been learning and doing. I don't know what the game plan is. I've got no idea, but I would assume it's going to be an absolute all-out war and onslaught, and that ultimately is what Junior does best. So I think when you look at it as a rematch, yeah, we can talk about some great rematches that have taken place at this weight, around this weight over many years and decades. Most recently, I'm thinking Kessler Froch. But really, this has got a bit of a twist to it, doesn't it? Because there's no one in this room, and that includes my beloved Smith family, you see them sitting over there. No one would have picked Liam Smith by knockout. Yes, Liam Smith by points. Can see the argumentation on that, but no one would have put smart money on that. And it was a shock. It was a shock. And Junior's reaction, by the way, to the knockdown, to say whatever anyone's opinion is, he'll know the best. He jumped up, which, by the way, wasn't the cleverest of things to do in hindsight. He jumped up, didn't give himself the time, because he never had that experience before. There was a Formula One driver who crashed for the first time. And looking back at it, take the count, take the seconds, but he wanted to basically continue without going back to the corner. Does it change from there? Only God knows, you know. But we want to see the rematch, absolutely. Adds that spice to it. And as I said, I think we're going to see a very different fight. Probably from both fights. I don't think these are going to come at the same time. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting spectacle in the Manchester Arena on Sky Box Office June 17.
I'll give the final few statements to both fighters. Chris, you really did play the game, the gloves are off and all the promotional stuff.
I don't play. Everything I do is legit. It's real. It's not an act. I don't play. I keep hearing this. You play a great game. This isn't a game. This is my life.
Was he better than you thought?
Was he better than I thought? No, I wouldn't say that. Did I underestimate him? Maybe you could say that. But you know, that's the great thing about boxing. That's what makes the sport so sexy. Is that anything can happen. I said it in the build-up. You know, when he was asking about why he never rematch calls, because anything can happen, and anything did happen. And now we have to make it right.
Will you give a final prediction?
No.
Liam, anything can happen. Will the same thing happen twice?
Yeah, I fully believe it will. Like I said before, I knew I was a better fighter than Chris. The big part of it was it big enough for 160? Never mind big enough for 160 now. I can hit him quite handy at 160. So, you know, I'm massively confident even more in this fight now.
Brilliant. Well, thank you everybody. There have been one-on-one opportunities at the conclusion. We'll bring everybody together for teams and a face-off. And like we said before, if everyone could just stay in the seats.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,